they leave in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. Here in Botswana, because of the government's responsible management of the revenues of natural diamonds, no one is leaving the universities with debts if you're from Botswana. You start your life, you get free education, free healthcare, you start your life on a solid platform, something that's totally unheard of in the Western world these days.
Yeah.
So I think, simple things like this are unknown. And we have a role to play as the natural diamond industry, as the World Diamond Council, to bring these stories to the fore. For Botswana stories, Namibia stories, South Africa, and so on.
Mm-hmm. And when you continue to do what you do, what is it that you can point out and say, look, this is where the industry in Botswana has to improve? And as far we know that besides mining, there's cutting and polishing. What else do you think Botswana should consider now playing in that part of the value chain of diamonds?
Well, Botswana needs to look at its right to win. And Botswana, what you have here is the birthplace of a natural diamond story, right? So you've got the most beautiful mines and you've got the most beautiful conservation. As you divest as a nation, you need to bring people into the country so that they can see the delta, the beautiful delta. I was one of the few that has been lucky in this planet to be able to visit the Okavango.
Wow.
And see the efforts of government and of the people in conserving this beautiful nature that is at risk in this world and in today's world. So there's, in
so
my
you're basically
view,
saying that there must be a connection
I think there needs to be a connection, yes.
between diamonds
You've got
and tourism.
Tourism, conservation. You have a miracle in Botswana that's not just the natural diamond, but also the wonderful, wonderful conservation efforts that you've managed to protect in comparison to many other countries around the world.
Okay, you've got your eyes around the world. Let me ask you, besides your organization and others that I see here, what other notable, very important organizations are here that you are aware of?
So I'm aware that, of course, De Beers' site holders are here. Site holders is the word that De Beers has labeled for its customers.
Yes.
And the site holders are the biggest diamantaires in the world. I've also seen other businesses here that support the natural diamond industry, so labs that do certification on natural diamonds after the diamond has been cut and polished to tell you what the color, quality, etc. is. I've seen, of course, our colleagues from ODC, from DTCB, from Botswana, from Lucara also. So it's a nice big family, diamond family that I've seen here.
So your organization represents a variety of stakeholders. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely. The World Diamond Council is an organization that has been registered in the United States of America. We represent the trade at the Kimberley process. We're very proud, actually, that Botswana is now the home of the Kimberley process,
With
the permanent secretariat is based here.
Yeah.
And that's taken the KP to the next level, professionalized it. And where other than Botswana, we're very proud of that.
I'm aware of the Diamond Council's comments on the importance of Kimberley process. But I wanted to ask you about now that Botswana is going, the verification of diamonds. Botswana is now going to be one of the places where they can be verified. The understanding to many people is that people are asking themselves here, what's the importance, what's the value of hosting the verification center? Can you share what you understand about that?
Well, from the World Diamond Council's perspective, we think it is a must. We believe that any verification center needs to be done at the country of origin and not far away from the country of origin. So from the onset, we've been lobbying as the World Diamond Council to say that diamonds must be certified in their country of origin.
Okay, so we're looking forward to hearing quite a lot from you before you step out of this country and go back to your place of work. But Notably, there must be something that we want to wish. I'm giving you just some few seconds to just share with us what you come here exactly for.
So I've come to Botswana to witness a historical moment, a signing of a contract between De Beers and the government of Botswana on African soil that will set the scene for natural diamonds for the next decade.
All right. Okay, Ferreal Zeroki. I'm happy that I pronounced this name very well, as we say it.
Thank you.
The World Diamond Council President. We really sincerely appreciate your gracing this occasion. And we look forward, before you go, to perhaps engage you. We continue with the broadcast and share with you people as they come through. That was, as I said, the Ferreal Zeroki, the World Diamond Council President. We will have another guest who will, of course, be coming from my own industry, which is the media itself, Mr. Batwing. He is here to just share with me what his observations are, what his expectations are. Mr. Batwin, thank you very much for gracing the makeshift studio here. Tell me, you've got your own impressions about this day. You've got your own expectations after 2019. Sorry, after the 10-year period of the marketing. Let's start with your expectations.
One, I think this should be able to spark a positive reaction in the market. There's a downturn more marketing. So the fact that today we are going to put the pen on the paper should be able to excite the market at least. I know the projections are Anglo-American, the owners by DBS, Botswana directly. But since the projection of recovery data on the third quarter of 2025. Yes. But one can also hope that this signing can also, because that is their own projection, one can also, on the other side, marketing, but I'm excited what has been regarded as the most successful triple P in the world has finally put a pen to the paper after that shaky environment in 2023.
Yeah. At the time when Botswana and DBS came together and said, we will agree to have a joint venture to set up a company called Botswana, I think the world was perhaps wondering, how is this going to pan out? How is this going to be? But as you said, it has become one of the agreements that has become a pace setter to many people around the world. Other countries, especially those that come from civil wars in Africa and have a lot of mining potential, perhaps are looking forward to replicating what Botswana and DBS has done. But it also has its own sides that are not as impressive to many people. Remember that initially in the early 2000s, many people were not agreeing, in the industry were not agreeing that Botswana can host the cutting and manufacturing, cutting and polishing industry, because they were fearing that it is a sweatshop-like business. And that was compared to what is happening mainly in other countries, and not ignoring what in European countries such as Belgium, that those industries are actually thriving. I want to hear from you. Is there anything that has been a disappointment so far between the Botswana and DBS agreement?
Yeah, I think if there's anything that the world can take from this agreement or from this relationship here at DBS and Botswana, it's supposed to be a model, or it's acting as a model or a template, how the triple P model could go about, or the triple P way of business could go about. When the DTCB was moving here in 2013, we know one of the things that the other sectors would benefit from it. Those are the numbers that we are actually still hunting for, to say in terms of the site holders. You know, DBS has 10 cycles where site holders come to Gaborone at least 10 times in a year to come and buy diamonds. What we need to hunt for is the numbers in terms of the impact in the hospitality sector. For those people, for instance, Botswana, Johann, private jete tsa bone, where do they sleep and all the like. If the numbers have not reached what we have targeted, that's an opportunity for us as a country to say, how then do we tweak it such that we ultimately benefit other sectors? And in a way, that's also a diversification, away from the mineral sector in terms of revenue collection.
Mm-hmm. And I think once we go that route, the expectation would be that the foreign revenue will not, going forward, not be largely coming from one industry, which is the diamonds at the moment. I note that you keep referring to triple P, and I think the Vice President will be excited that you've taken that up, because in his speech, he also talks about triple P as one way that they are going to find it's easy to, or rather embrace triple P going forward to do a lot of developments across the country, projects to be done through triple P arrangements. And of course, we have examples of that besides Botswana. We have examples of that that has happened. I think it was during Remohai, the creation of, or the building of the Sadek House, the building of another one in the main mall. I want to learn from you, if you can, if you have that information, what delayed the full embracing of triple Ps in Botswana then?
I think it's an issue of wealth transfer, because look, there was a point where we went out and said we are looking for foreign direct investment. We had foreign investors coming largely in the financial sector. I would say that there's a sizable number of foreigners who came in heavily during Nakwa. We know how many banks came through, even way back during Nakwa Masir. And we're also looking at getting investors in other sectors. But the delay largely came from the fact that when we were creating wealth from diamonds, we were then not able to transfer it to the indigenous Botswana. So that also killed the whole process, because Harare Triple P, we are not just saying Triple P or the private sector is foreign. We are also looking at domestic investors or investors by Botswana. So because we're not able to transfer the wealth to Botswana, that also impacted the rollout here in Triple P. Or the foreign investors that are not interested in certain sectors, for instance, in agro processing or food processing, we are likely not going to see that model, because but they're not interested more food processing. Ba mo Botswana ba batlang go dira Triple P, gongwe bone ga bana the finance, but they were interested in going into partnership with the public sector or with the government. So I think that's where the delay was in terms of financing and also development of entrepreneurs in our country.
Mm-hmm. We're continuing with the story of the signing of the agreement, the marketing and sales, and of course the mining between Botswana and DBS. And I'm with me here, Victor Batwing, a fellow journalist specializing in business news. Let's just talk about the appetite or the interest of companies to play in the Triple P space. There was a time, I think it was in 2005, when Remohai went to South Africa and pleaded and told companies there, he was addressing the community of business people in Cape Town. And he said, look, we've got Mama Bula, we want to start a project there in Mama Bula, and we're looking for companies that can partner with us through Triple P to do this. And it never happened. Right as we speak, it's actually been done by one company. Is it this telling us that there are some, as you said earlier, there are some areas that we are not yet good enough to sell the Triple P model?
Yeah, but you also look, we are playing in a geopolitics. So part of it, for example, the project you just gave example of, Mama Bula, was largely to a large extent sabotaged by our neighbor, because they were supposed to be the buyers from the project.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to engage you going forward, but we're going to end it here and go to the studio to continue with much more